Where's the guns, Nathan? Where's the guns? I don't see any guns, Nathan!
Yes, he tried to deflect with guns from the flat earth he was measuring, and was being told for the 100th time that he was measuring it while he was measuring it with angles to the sun.
Where's the guns?
The Chilean government were escorting somebody off the Antarctic, let's call it continent, because of their lack of the correct documentation. So we found the guns. I mean, Adam Meakin specifically informed me that the guns had been found. Now, my concerns with general travel and my experience with armed guards being at various different checkpoints where I had to hand over this little book called a passport in order to enter various different countries legally, and they'd quite frequently check my possessions and check my person to see that I didn't have anything that that country disallowed, whilst there was men standing over me with big guns. That was pointed out in terms of the Antarctic region being under limited expeditional capabilities by the general population. Now, that is exacerbated by the Antarctic Treaty and guarded at gunpoint by anybody who would prevent somebody like the man who recently landed there from being there without permission. They will and are escorted away at gunpoint. So we figured out where the guns were. Meanwhile, the deflection to where guns are when landing in an area that you might not be allowed to be isn't necessarily dealing with the flat Earth elevation angle measurements of the sun for a 24-hour period in the Antarctic, affirming that Earth is indeed measured flat. The very thing being put to the Antarctic expeditioner known as McToon for the literal 100th time when measuring Earth flat there in real time, as I told him, personally. After he contacted me proactively, the only flat earther to receive such a phone call from Antarctica. How many other people can say, I received a phone call from Antarctica as they measured Earth flat. I pointed out that they measured Earth flat live while they were measuring Earth flat and was asked about guns or some nonsense. Not many people can say that. I can, as a flat earther pointing out that Earth is measured flat in Antarctica to the people measuring it flat while they were measuring it flat.
Where's the guns? I don't see any guns, Nathan! I talked to you about Antarctica. You deflected to measurements.
Absolutely 100% lied about the Earth. Turn off your mute button there, Nathan, or a life partner, the mute button. Turn it off, right?
We measure Earth flat too.
Stop over talking.
Like with your elevation angles in your challenge.
You're changing the
Maybe if you keep talking indefinitely.
That must have annoyed the hell out of them. Nathan, I think I remember the end of that. He's telling somebody that he just called you and you deflected with measurements. Who was he saying that to? Duffy?
I was saying that to McKeegan, who was filming him go bonkers screaming my name into the snow about there being a 24-hour sun that he'd measured with flat Earth elevation angles to it. But I tried to deflect to the measurements he was making. Apparently he was screaming that.
See any guns, Nathan? I talked to you about Antarctica. You deflected to measurements.
What's his name? McKeegan.
So McKeegan knew that he was ringing you up.
I mean, I don't care. I don't exactly genuinely feel privileged to have received a phone call as a flat earther from Antarctica. I mean, what did I do with it? I repeated myself for the 100th time to a man who's proactively chased me like a creepy stalker for quite some time and been told the same thing over and over again. You've measured Earth flat with elevation angles in your 10K challenge. And on Antarctica. Hey, One Deck.
Hi, guys. Hey, Nathan.
Hello.
Jaldo posted a video if you want to go over it. It's a Mr. Big. Go ahead, One Deck, sorry.
Neil, if you had to spoon with McKeegan for 3 days straight, you'd go a bit bonkers as well.
Well, from what I heard, McToon was an annoying guy. Nobody wanted to be around him.
Okay, who cares? Just as much an ad hominem a personal attack when you describe how irritating someone like McToon is. Who cares? Now, I don't care if he's a genuinely lovely bloke or accused of the most heinous crimes known to man. It literally makes no difference to what he did. Yeah? Does it invalidate the flat Earth elevation angle measurements that he made because he's a really horrible chap, allegedly? Does it matter?
There you go again, deflecting with measurements.
What, deflecting away from the ad hominem attack about how nice a guy he is? I don't care how nice a guy he is. He could be a great guy or a terrible guy. It doesn't matter to me. He's measuring Earth flat. What did I tell him when he phoned me up proactively? Yeah, that would be his 100th time getting in touch with me proactively. I'm not chasing this guy down, am I? Right? He's contacting me proactively to tell me what? That he's looked at the sun for a 24-hour period and measured it flat with angles. These angles, the ones on screen right now. This is an elevation angle measurement. So if you're going to suggest that you've got the angle measurements to the sun for a 24-hour period, then you're telling me that you've measured Earth flat for 24 hours with varying different angle measurements. That's what this is. Surface level and line to the sun for a 24-hour period is nothing more than an affirmation that we measured Earth flat for 24 hours. And that's exactly what I told him. Did I say, I hear you're an horrible guy, nobody likes you too, everybody there hates you? I don't care. What I do say is, he screamed my name into the snow about guns when I pointed out Earth was being measured flat, there and then. Now, deflection to measurements. No. Deflection to guns. Because the measurements are a flat Earth, and I don't care if Toon deflects. I don't care if he understands it. I don't care if he lies about it or is a terrible person. Earth is still measured flat, regardless of how Toon measured it flat, or lied about it not being flat with an elevation angle as depicted on screen now. That's what it was. An elevation angle measurement is a flat Earth measurement. It's a prerequisite for part of the angle that you're measuring the surface. The GP is always going to be at 90 degrees to the zenith of the sun. This is what an elevation angle is. So do I care that some shyster liar called McDuffie was down there with McKeegan being lied to by McToon about how it ain't a flat surface level to measure the angle that he's measured? It's still actually a surface level measurement of an angle, regardless of what they say, do, or how they are, or how they behave, or what they are as people. Earth's still measured flat. So in literal terms, I don't care what they say about their experiments. Same flat Earth measurements. They're not. Does it matter that they call them experiments? No, not really. Still measured flat. What's like they still say that it's an experiment that validated the globe? They still measured it flat though, didn't they? So who cares? You can either understand and recognise that. Flat Earth elevation angle measurement is another example of it. This one's come from a book that liked to talk about the globe on page 97 after talking about how flat Earth must be to measure the angle like this, depicted with an angle described as 90 degrees at the zenith of the star, just like it was for the sun, and an angle being two straight lines meeting at a vertex that kind of looks like it's curving. Yeah, if it was, it wouldn't be an angle anymore, and you wouldn't be able to put the words here. Numbers, 60 degrees. It wouldn't be, because this wouldn't be giving you an angle if it's curved. It's no longer an angle. It is. That's how we measure the surface of Earth. This is what they measured in Antarctica. They measured Earth flat. And for the very literal 100th time I told Toon he'd done that, only to get a response of, where are the guns? That's it.
So wait a second. You're saying he deflected. I never heard you say that before. That's a good point.
It's called projection.
He deflected with guns.
Yes. When he deflected with guns, the instantaneous human response is to project that onto your enemy, me being his enemy, Toon's enemy being myself. So he needs to deflect away from flat Earth elevation angle measurements he's had pointed out to him literally for 100th time, live while he's measuring them. So he projected his deflection to guns instantaneously onto me with the following words. He, meaning myself, Nathan Oakley, tried to deflect with measurements. Toon is saying in that statement, quote, he tried to deflect with measurements, end quote, McToon, whilst on the Antarctic continent, measuring flat Earth elevation angles to the sun for a 24-hour period. He is deflecting two guns and projecting said deflection onto me in that moment. Straight up projection. Very simple. So yes, he tried to deflect with guns from the flat Earth he was measuring, and was being told for the 100th time that he was measuring it while he was measuring it with angles to the sun.
100% lied about the Earth. Turn off your mute button there, Nathan, or a life partner, the mute button. Turn it off. We're talking.
You done?
Right?
We measure Earth flat too.
Stop over talking.
Like with your elevation angles in your challenge.
You're changing the topic.
Maybe if you keep talking indefinitely.
Don't change the topic. The topic is Antarctica. The topic is Antarctica. The topic is Antarctica. Antarctica. Run from the topic. Run from the topic. Nathan cannot address the topic of Antarctica.
You done?
Right?
We measure Earth flat too.
Stop over talking.
Like with your elevation
You
angles
lied.
in your
You're
challenge.
changing the topic.
Maybe if you keep talking.